So the project life cycle consists of 5 stages. The first stage is the initiation stage, followed by the planning, execution, monitor and control, and finally the closing/testing stage. In the initiation phase, this is the time that I'm going to want to sit down with senior management or stakeholders and get an idea for what they're looking for with the project. What do they want to see? What requirements need to be met? What is the end goal for this entire project? Once I've gotten a good hold of that or a good understanding from the initiation phase, I'll move on to the planning phase. In this phase, I want to go away and kind of come up with a plan of how we're going to execute this project, how we're going to get it done, how I want to see it done from start to completion, and what all I'm going to need to make that happen. That can be resources, people, that type of thing. Towards the end of that planning phase, I would look to do a kickoff meeting in which I would bring those senior members as well as stakeholders and my team members together so that we could all try to get on one page about this project, what it entails, what does completion look like, and what are the things that we're going to have to do to get it to that completion. So the whole goal of that meeting is to make sure everybody is on the same page moving forward. Going into the next phase of execution, at this point, we're putting out a work structure of who's doing what, who's taking care of what resources we have, how we're getting this job done, piece by piece. In this execution phase, I want to make sure I have the right people for the right job, and I want to make sure I have the tools that we need to complete this job. Moving into the monitoring and control phase, while I talked about it in the execution phase, everybody having a job or everybody having kind of like a piece of the puzzle, overall, the responsibility for the entire project is going to fall on me as the project manager. It's going to be my job to oversee this whole project, make any corrections or implement any changes that I see fit when they arise or when I feel like they need to be made, so that we can make sure we meet every requirement and that we make it to that end goal that the stakeholders are looking for. Going into the final phase, which is going to be the closing/testing phase, this point we want to go over the project and make sure that what we have now meets what we were talking about in the initiation phase. What did they want for or what was desired for the outcome? I want to make sure that that is actually the product that we have. And we want to test it because we also want to make sure that that product does work. Not only do we have a product, but have a working product, and it's a product that the stakeholders are proud of or are willing to, or that they love and are willing to accept. So throughout this project, one of the things that I would do is continuous meetings throughout each stage. It's not like, hey, when the initiation phase hits, that's like the last time I talk to the stakeholders until we get to closing. No, it's going to be continuous meeting, continuous communication, because I want to make sure that if there's anything that's going wrong, I want to utilize my ethical practices of, if anything goes wrong, making sure that the stakeholders are informed and well aware of what's going on and what changes needed to be made, why they need to be made, and kind of what the plan is going forward to make sure we still can make it to that end result that we are looking for. So there will be meetings throughout just to make sure not only that they know what's going on, they're informed, that my project team is informing me of what's going on, and that we're meeting every requirement that needs to be met from the beginning to the end. So overall, that is the project life cycle, and that's kind of how I would carry it out from initiation into planning, into the actual execution, the monitoring and controlling of it, making any changes that need to be made, and then getting to that final desired end goal that we were looking for, that we discussed at our initiation phase. And that's how I would do that.